Hey guys, it's Simon. This is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here, on the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you, 2021, to talk about everything that went down tonight on NXT. And for the most part, well, actually, thinking about it, no, I really did enjoy tonight's show. Let's turn the mic up just a tiny bit. And why won't... Oh, I just lost the chat. What just happened? Trying to click too many things at one time. There we go. We are rolling. But with that, I really enjoyed tonight's NXT. I'll say there was one thing on the show that I felt was kind of meh. And we'll get to that if you follow me on Twitter. The only couple things I tweeted about, you would know. Oh, I got this really bad itch. Don't you guys hate it when you get an itch on your back and it's in that one spot where all you need is like another inch on your finger to reach it and you just can't reach it? That's what I got going right now. I got this itch and I need that much. That's it. Anyways, I'll deal. With that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching here on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. First off, by hitting that donate button right down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel as well to help us out here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited, one of two different ways. You can help us out either with a tiered subscription, just like Broken King Slender did yesterday, or with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a multitude of different things, including free DLC for certain games like Fall Guys, and one free subscription to any Twitch channel that you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And we'd greatly appreciate it if you use that one subscription on us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you're watching on YouTube, you can help us out a couple of different ways as well. You can help us out by putting them super chats or super sticker donations in the live chat. Remember, all super chat donations do get read live on the air. You can also hit that join button down below and become a channel member. As a channel member, it gets you some cool perks like early access to podcasts, early access to non-news videos, early access to exclusive news, and a badge next to your name, as well as emojis. But the best way to directly support us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited, to get all of that and maybe even more, patreon.com/PWU Unlimited. But we're here to talk about NXT. Let's get our polls going really fast. New poll. What did you think of tonight's NXT? Liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. Poll is live on Twitch. Fill the same poll up for you guys watching on YouTube. All right. Poll is live on both. Now let's talk NXT. The show kicks off immediately with action. The Falls Count Anywhere match, Isaiah Swerve Scott versus Leon Ruff. And I really enjoyed this match. I thought this match was really fun. I thought these two guys, as they always do, worked really well together. These guys just always work great together. And in saying that, I do hope this is the last match between these two we see. I really do, because it's like we've seen a version of this match how many times now? Like, how long have we seen Scott versus Ruff? But with that, Ruff charged towards Scott. Soon as the bell rang to start off this match, Ruff ate a knee strike because, well, Scott knew he was going to do it. He just had a feeling. Ruff tried to fight back, but Scott dropped him yet again. Ruff eventually countered Scott to set up a tope. Scott caught Ruff on the attempted dive, and Scott sent Ruff crashing into the apron with a Death Valley driver. Scott whipped Ruff into the barricades, and he slammed Ruff on the metal entrance ramp for a near fall. So going forward, a mighty suplex by Scott, and then Ruff sold it really big. Scott looked to be in complete control as Ruff rolled to the outside. Ruff with a counter that tied Scott upside down in the ropes, and Scott fell to the floor after taking a drop kick. Ruff looked to make a comeback, but Scott dropped him in midair. They brawled for a little while on the floor, and Scott tried to hurl a toolbox at Ruff, but he moved and it hit the plexiglass at ringside. During a commercial break, the fight spilled to the locker room area. The fight spilled into the gym area. And I go, okay, they should have saved some of that for television, for like non-commercial, if you know what I mean. Scott was blinded with a spotlight at one time at the top of the ramp, and it gave a little bit of an advantage to Ruff. But not much, as Ruff did throw Scott off the ramp in the staging area, but then they fought back to the ring, and what? Swerve just took back over. Scott went for another superplex, but Ruff countered into a crucifix bomb. Scott managed to kick out, and Ruff moments later with a crazy poison rana off the apron, and Scott flipped right onto the floor. Scott with a modified Michinoku driver to Ruff on the floor. Somehow Ruff managed to kick out at 2. Ruff moved when Scott charged at him, and Scott crashed knee first into the ring steps. Ruff then took the toolbox and hurled it at him, just like he did earlier in the night, and Ruff used the toolbox as a weapon to hit Scott in the back of the knee. Ruff then executed a frog splash for a close near fall. Ruff then applied a heel hook, but Scott was able to escape. Ruff then delivered 2 cutters. The first was in the ring, and the second one was nutso. So, Ruff is standing on the apron, swerves on the floor below. Ruff then just jumps at him and gives him a cutter. Boom, both crash down hard onto the mats. Ruff then climbed a ladder behind some of the production stuff, and he leapt off of this big old stage. But, well, he was caught. Not by Isaiah Swerve Scott, but AJ Francis. You may go, that guy looks a little familiar. Well, you may have seen him in 1 or 2 different places. Either in the videos where Scott is in the what's it called? I should know this. Scott is in the recording studio. He's always in those videos in the background. But if you have watched the A&E show, WWE's Most Wanted Treasures, you've seen AJ Francis on there every week. He's the one that travels with the superstars to go find the stuff. With that, though, he caught Leon Ruff out of midair. Francis then gave Ruff a Ushigoroshi using the barricade. Scott followed this up with his signature package driver, and he covered Ruff for a 3 to pick up the victory. So Scott wins. He's got help from AJ Francis. Then his other 2 entourage members come out to celebrate with him, and they all leave. In the back, North American champion Johnny Gargano was with Austin Theory, and they just barged right in to William Regal's office. Regal's like, excuse me, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Johnny's like, we need to talk. He's like, we could talk later. And then fucking Austin Theory. So the meeting that Regal's having is with Scarlett. Austin Theory's staring at Scarlett, staring at her, and goes, oh my God, I've never seen some that big. They're so big. And you think, oh, he's talking about her boobs or something. And then he like grabs her hand and goes, those nails. And you keep them so long. And Scarlett's kind of just like, the fuck? Huh? What is this goof doing? We go to the ring, and it's Cameron Grimes versus Asher Hale. This is a very, what would you call this? Competitive match. Hale looked really good here in his NXT debut. Hale with a missile dropkick early for a near fall at one point. Grimes answered back with some counters. Grimes then delivered the cave-in, and Grimes covered Hale to pick up the victory. There was more to it, but not a lot more to it. In the back, Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro were being interviewed when they were interrupted by Frankie Monet, who was, of course, carrying the dog. Monet, in a condescending manner, because that's how she's always been, it's just the character she's always played, she says she's cheering for Carter and Catanzaro to finally get a shot at the tag titles. So Cameron Grimes was celebrating his win in the back when he was met by, well, Everrise. Grimes wanted to celebrate, but he told the other two that 3 was the only number here in this locker room. They go, well, there's 3 of us. He goes, no, 3. Me, myself, and Cameron Grimes. Grimes then cackled before saying he was headed to the VIP room and not MVP's VIP room. Next up, we had a just fantastic match between Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa and the Grizzled Young Vets. So the Grizzled Young Vets, before the match even started, cut a promo on their opponents and the audience. Thatcher and Ciampa were in control early when the show went to a commercial. Drake cut off Thatcher after the break, and the heels began working on Thatcher. Hot tag to Ciampa, though, let Ciampa run a house of fire. Thatcher was left all alone with the heels after Ciampa took a bump into the announce table. Drake also flew through the ropes with a tope that knocked Ciampa over the desk, over the table, what are we going to call it? Thatcher was being double-teamed, but Ciampa was able to finally make it in and make the save. Ciampa also had a shoe that apparently belonged to Wade Barrett. Ciampa then did the J.J. Dillon assist where he tossed the shoe into the ring. Thatcher waffled Gibson with the shoe. Thatcher followed this up by applying an armbar, and Gibson soon tapped out. Cool. He did a lot of comedy of, hey, that's my shoe. Fucking Wade Barrett. Why did they take my shoe? I lost my shoe during that match. In the back, Johnny Gargano was pestering William Regal. Regal was having none of it, and they did some more comedy. We then see Swerve leaving with his entourage, or maybe even new stable, I don't know. He referred to them as, his quote, his crew. So next up, NXT champion Karrion Kross and Scarlett would make their way out to the ring. Kross went on to say that 3 weeks ago, that was weird. My Alexa just went off. Anyways, Kross went on to say that 3 weeks ago, he cut a promo saying that if anybody wants to step to him, by all means do it. But that hasn't happened. Maybe that means everybody's scared of him. Kross was, though, he briefly mentioned taking on Austin Theory next week before he was interrupted by Kyle O'Reilly. And boy, am I not behind this cool Kyle gimmick. I don't like it at all. I don't get it. I don't get it. To me, it's not funny. I get it. He's trying to be charismatic. But if he's just the old Kyle O'Reilly with a chip on his shoulder saying, hey, I beat Adam Cole, one of the greatest NXT champions of all time, I can beat almost anybody. That's what I want. But I don't want him coming out here with the shades and the little hat and the, yeah, all right, let's do this. You know, it's just, it doesn't fit, and it's going to get old quick. He was wearing an Easy E T-shirt, which is, I guess, cool. O'Reilly confronted Kross. And O'Reilly was about to challenge Kross when they were interrupted by Pete Dunne. Going forward, Dunne cut a promo on both O'Reilly and Kross. Dunne claimed to be the baddest man in NXT. He said that he dared them to prove him wrong. Cue up Finn Balor. Balor would enter out, and Balor stormed the ring and went to hit Kross. A brawl between the two erupted. But first, actually, Finn got in the ring and goes, once you're done with these two, I'll be ready and waiting, or something like that. And so Finn gets knocked down. Kyle steps to Cross. Cross was then left standing, and security came out. He knocked them all down. And one security dude took a side to suplex from Cross. And just when you think the segment's over, out comes Johnny and Theory. Old Gargano and Austin Theory. They jump him from behind with a sneak attack. They briefly get the advantage on the NXT champion. Gargano and Theory jumped Cross, but he fought him off. Cross was outnumbered, took a super kick or two, but then took them both out. The heels left Cross laying before Cross did get back to his feet, and Cross will meet Theory next week on NXT. A lot happened in this match, and it may have been a little too much, because it's like, okay, Kyle comes out, you're going to build that match. Okay. Pete Dunne comes out, we're going to build to a number one contenders match. Then Finn comes out and says, when you're done with them, I want to challenge you. So it's like, okay, not a triple threat number one contenders match. And then you get the stuff to build up next week's match with Johnny and Austin. And I just like, they may have tried to do just a skosh too much here, in my opinion. I liked this. But I just felt that they tried to just fit a little too much into one segment. When they came back from a commercial, Johnny and Austin were fleeing the scene. They were running away. They jumped in the car, and they were asked, hey, well, what? You're not going to stay for Candice and Indy? And Johnny goes, no, I got to go set up their celebration party. We're going to go celebrate. They're going to get the championships. And they jumped in the car, and they ran away really fast. Gave me Earl Hebner leaving the Survivor Series Montreal vibes. Next up, we had Suray versus Zeta Raimi here. And they built these two women up in this video like they're just the best two women to come into NXT in a very long time. Like, these two women are going to change the landscape. And it's like, yeah, they both won their debut matches, but Zeta Raimi are only won after getting her ass beat by Toni Storm, and then Toni Storm was distracted by Zoe Stark. And you don't have to agree with me on this. Suray's boring. I find Suray very boring. Her music hits, sounds like something I'd hear at Disneyland, and she just walks down to the ring. Gets in the ring and just goes. And then in her matches, she's not bad. She seems technically sound. But I'm just bored. She's got no stage presence. There's no charisma in anything she does. It's kind of just like, they're making me do this. I know what I'm supposed to do. Go through the motions. We're done. Okay, I won. Thanks for that. Let's go to the back. It's just, I don't get it. I'm very bored with her. I hope she gets better. But it's just like, damn. And I know I shouldn't do this, but it's like when you look at all the other Joshi women that came into NXT before her, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, all of them dripping in confidence, just exuberating charisma, just highly entertaining, all three of them. And then they hype her up and they talk about how we've been so successful in NXT with Japanese women in the past, and Suray's going to be no different, but she is different because she's not like the other three at all. And I don't know her experience level, but it could be that she's just not as experienced as those other three were when they came into NXT as well. But I'm, for the most part, bored with her. Like, I couldn't have cared less for this match, and they kept it short. Suray fought from underneath early. She dropped Rey Myra on her head with a suplex at one point, and then she just pinned her. Okay. Cool. So in the back, Walter was talking with Imperium via an iPad. He was giving him a pep talk. Walter is even intimidating in video form. We got another teaser for Diamond Mine. Similar to last week's video, couple of different shots, but we still don't know anything of what this fucking thing is. It's got to be some like MMA group. It's got to be. So we see Zoe Starks just having a stare down with Toni Storm backstage. Stark won the stare down, I guess. I don't know, because Storm walked away. Like, really? They're staring each other down and Toni Storm just leaves. Like, either A, Toni Storm goes, this ain't worth my time, or B, Zoe Starks intimidated her and won the stare down. But regardless, what? Huh? Okay. They got LA Knight versus Jake Atlas. Knight cut a promo on his way to the ring. Atlas rallied, after being pummeled early on in the match. Knight soon cut him off. Atlas got a few counters in, and Knight struck with a headlock DDT. Knight then covered Atlas to pick up the victory. What you would expect from a match like this. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell were in the locker room preparing for their title match later. Dexter Lumis would appear in a window holding flowers. Hartwell did not see him, but Candice did. Closed the blinds on the window, keeping Indy from seeing Dexter. Toni Storm then cut a promo on Zoe Stark. Storm said that she brought Stark into this business, and she's going to take her out of this business. Legado del Fantasma was in the ring. They cut a promo. Raul Mendoza and Walking Wild won a tag title shot against MSK. Where Escobar wants a shot at Kushida. NXT champion Kushida appeared on the video screen to actually challenge Escobar with the title on the line. We then got the worst thing on the show. We got a damn sit-down interview deal with Raquel and Mercedes Martinez. And all I'm going to say is this blew. If this was supposed to hype up the title match next week, no. It didn't. It didn't at all. Because it came off very, very scripted and highly rehearsed and like, just no. No. This was not it. Like, you can tell that they were told, talk, stop. Talk, next person's turn. Talk, cut her off, say a word, talk. It was very patterned. It was like one woman would talk, then she'd stop, the other woman would talk. One woman would talk, say something snarky in the middle of her promo. The next woman would talk, say something snarky in the middle of her. This just didn't do it for me at all. Both women came off all right, but it didn't come off good. And I don't know what it is, but whenever Raquel tries to say chica, you know what, chica? Like, I get it, it's supposed to be her cool saying. It doesn't do it. It just doesn't. So in the back, Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon are getting ready to enter the ring for their match. When, well, they say, ooh, look at the nice doggy. Doggy's in our tank. And they're all, ooh, cute dog, da-da-da-da-da. And also Ember goes, what is that? Oh, my God. And Shotzi's like, how is it so big? Apparently, dog pooped in the tank. They couldn't bring the tank down to ringside. Okay, cool. Cameron Grimes arrives at a nightclub. There's a very tall bouncer, and he would not let Grimes in. And Grimes goes, what are you talking about? I paid for the VIP room. He's like, maybe you didn't hear me. You're tall. Let me jump up to your size. My name is Cameron Grimes. And he goes, sorry, but the venue's been bought out for the night. He goes, excuse me? White limo pulls up. Big old $sign on the hood. Out would come none other than the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase would go on to say, why rent a booth when you can buy the whole club? DiBiase concluded it by saying, everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man. He cackled. Grimes got mad and did his Ted DiBiase. I love it. Cameron Grimes is great. Cameron Grimes is phenomenal. I love me some old Cameron Grimes. Then we move on to our main event. NXT Women's Tag Team titles on the line in a street fight. And this match lived up to what a street fight should be. Boy, howdy did it ever. Also, I forgot to mention, if you guys want to be part of tonight's show, I forgot to give you guys the number. If you guys don't know, 510-906-1341. Remember, that is 510-906-1341. Also, before we talk about this main event, let's talk about our sponsor. We got to talk about the sponsor for tonight's video. And that's Surfshark. Have you ever been sitting on your computer and just get random ads that are about something you just searched and even talked about? And you think, oh crap, is my computer talking and like listening to me? Well, that's because your internet connection is not secure. That could be a big deal. But Surfshark, they can help you out with that in a multitude of different ways. But not only can Surfshark help you secure your connection, but it can help you access content not available in your country. If you tried to go on the WWE Network recently and it says, hey, sign up for Peacock, and you go, no, I'm not signing up for Peacock. That's one way Surfshark comes in handy. Surfshark can use its VPN service to essentially trick others into thinking that you're from another country. But with Surfshark, you can go on the WWE Network from, say, the United Kingdom to living in the United States. This doesn't only work with the WWE Network, though. A multitude of different services like Netflix, Hulu, and more. If you use our link below or go to pwunlimited.co/Surfshark now. Again, that is pwunlimited.co/Surfshark. SURFSHARK. You can get up to 81% off of your initial subscription, and you'll be helping out us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Do it. Do it. What are you waiting for? You want to keep using Peacock? I don't. And that is where Surfshark can help. Main event ski time. During the entrances, we saw Shotzi Blackheart was dressed as Freddy Krueger, and Ember Moon was dressed as Jason. I think, what is it? Jason Voorhees is what they call him. Jason from Friday the 13th. So both teams are in the ring, and the announcer goes, the following matchup is, and then all of a sudden they're just brawling. And they said, screw this. Weapons came into play early, and this was a street fight. Boy, howdy. And I forget NXT gets the damn overrun, because this match started and they go, well, they're not even getting 10 minutes. They're going to get about 9.5, 8 minutes. Then they go to commercial and come back at the top of the hour and they go, oh, yeah, that's right. Overrun. Totally forgot. So the champs beat the shit out of the challengers, like a lot, early on in this match. Indy got beat down multiple times by both women before Candice made a save. Suray was able to hit a baseball slide, but she was instead sandwiched between two trash can lids. Hartwell's turn to make the save, and she cleaned house. Hartwell then grabbed some chairs at ringside, which ironically were used on her. Moon smashed Hartwell into the chairs. Blackheart added another chair, placing it on top of the 4 chairs and putting Indy on top of them. They went to dive on Indy, but Suray made the save by shooting both champions with a fire extinguisher. We then go to that only break during this match, actually, where Hartwell set up a ladder bridge, and Candice was eventually thrown on or dropped onto the ladder bridge. We then saw Shotzi Blackheart go to the top rope and deliver a senton off the top onto Candice, cracking the ladder. Wasn't the only time Indy dove off of something and someone cracked through something. These women worked hard, and they put on a really good match. In the ring, Move gave Hartwell an Alabama slam on a table propped up in the corner. Table barely broke, and Hartwell took a hard bump, hitting the back of her head at the bottom of the table. Moments later, Hartwell had enough just to barely fight out, and then she kicked a ladder into Moon and Blackheart. The ladder was then propped on the ropes, and Blackheart was placed on it. Suray then did a lion salt onto... So Blackheart's laying on the ladder. Indy's holding the ladder up while it's also being propped up by the ropes. Candice then does her lion salt, K-Brada, moonsault, whatever you want to call it, right onto Shotzi on the ladder. Right after this, Ember Moon took a spine buster from Hartwell onto the ladder. Blackheart and Hartwell started to brawl near the announce desk. Blackheart was thrown into the, I guess you say, barricade, the plexiglass, before she broke a coffee mug over the shoulder. They said back of the head, but it was shoulder of Indy Hartwell. After Indy had cleared the table, she was then thrown onto the table. Then we got our Jeff Hardy spot. Shotzi Blackheart climbs really high up the scaffolding at ringside and then just dives right down onto Indy Hartwell. Indy gone dead. We think. She's actually not. Candice gets beat down for a little while till eventually Indy does make her way back into the ring. Indy jumps in the ring to save Candice. She then springboards off the top rope and hits an elbow drop onto Ember Moon through a table on the ramp. Meanwhile, in the ring, Suray gave Blackheart the wicked stepsister onto a chair. She then pinned Shotzi Blackheart to become the new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Yes, the titles did change, and Candice and Indy now have the belts. I adored this match. I thought this match was so much fun. I really loved it. And let's see where it goes from here. I don't know if they just do a rematch, maybe a takeover or something. We'll have to wait and see. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was NXT. A very entertaining show. I really liked most of it for the most part. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 7.5, almost an 8. I don't know if I can go straight 8, though. But now, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's NXT. Let's check the polls. Remember, you can text in to 510-906-1341. But as far as the Twitch poll does go, 83% of you thought that tonight's NXT was just all right, with 17% of you liking the show. As far as the YouTube poll does go, 79% of you liked the show, 15% thought it was all right, and 6% actually did not like it. But now, let's check out the text messages if it wants to. There we go. It says, do you see the way holding all the NXT gold? Not anytime soon, because it's got to get convoluted. Here's the thing. Austin Theory is not winning the NXT championship. So if you do the way holding all the gold, that means Candice and Indy have to hold those tag titles for a very long time. Because A, Johnny has to lose the North American title. Then Austin has to gain the North American title. Then in the process, Johnny Gargano has to somehow earn and win an NXT title match. So no, I don't see it happening at all. First says, are Ciampa and Thatcher heels? They kind of gave off heelish vibes using heelish tactics to win. No, it's just who they are. It's their gimmicks. It's, we'll do anything to win. We don't care how it makes us look, but everybody loves us. We're fucking Ciampa and Toothless Timmy. No, they're not heels at all. They're baby faces through and through. First says, when do you think Finn Balor will bring back the demon? No clue. This person says, what do you think they do with Kyle, Finn, and Pete? Maybe a triple threat number one contenders match, kind of like I said earlier. I don't know. This person says, I have missed NXT tonight because of bad weather. I'm glad I hear it on PWU Unlimited. Well, I appreciate that. We're always here to run it all down for you. Person says, you think Malcolm Bivens is going to be part of Diamond Mine, possibly as a manager? Here's the thing. I'm kind of over Malcolm Bivens. He's great. Don't get me wrong. But they've done way too much start and stop with him. Way too much. You're with this group. Now you're with this guy. Now you're just gone. And it's like, if he comes and he's with them, I almost think it would be a detriment to whoever this group is, because these, quote unquote, had so many already, quote, failed acts, I guess you can say. He was with Indus and they just disappeared. Then he was with Tyler Rust, and they just disappeared. Now I know Indus is being placed with Jinder Mahal in the main roster, apparently, because, spoiler alert, Indus helps Jinder Mahal defeat Jeff Hardy this week on NXT. No, on main event. Says, are they turning cross babyface? He seems to be taking attacks from behind and by heels, except Kyle. I would assume Finn is a heel again. No, he's not a babyface. It's just he's the champ, and everybody wants to go after the champ, but no one can keep down the champ is the thing. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, you can follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. Remember to follow our website, pwunlimited.co, and turn on those push notifications. Also, if you want to directly support us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. Remember, tomorrow, guys, Blood and Guts, big episode of Dynamite. We'll be live following tomorrow's Dynamite right here, same place, same time, YouTube, Twitch, breaking down whatever that wacky show is going to be, because that Blood and Guts match could be very, very good. I'll see you tomorrow for NXT. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night. I'll see you next time.